Hello! Alright, my Switch doesn't have internet. One sec. Hold on. I don't want to dox my Wi-Fi password. Gotta give my Switch internet for a sec. But hello! Internet settings. There we go. This one. But hello, how are you? How are you? Not yet, it isn't. I'm cold. My heating didn't work last night. Probably because I turned it on too late. But other than that, I'm good. I have Fwemp in the background.
Hello.
Who helped me move. Yes. There it is. Look at the download speed. Look at it.
I'm jealous.
Boop, boop, boop. Update. Anyway, we're not playing that. We're playing this.
Neo's.
Weird light. Okay. Stream's gonna go until probably around midnight, and then we need to get some food. But yeah, stressful week. I wish I could have streamed yesterday, but I A, was not done moving until like 11 PM, and B, did not have internet until like 6 in the morning today, so I couldn't even have streamed if I was done sooner. But yeah. Oh shit. Hold on. Let me turn it down a bit. That should be better. Here we yes. What does this save? It keeps loading run saves. What the fuck? Why do I hear it twice? Oh my god. Oh crap. Hold on. I hear it twice because it's coming out of my monitor. No, we don't want that, do we? Okay, this save, please. Okay. Why did we go here again? I don't remember. Well, let's go here. It's time to find the blogger.
Mr. Otsuka must do well for himself, considering the neighborhood. Not the priciest section of Neo SF, but nice enough for a self-employed tech blogger. Perhaps we should just ring the bell? We both know it won't be that easy, but it's important to maintain some courtesies.
Yay! The Wi-Fi gods are strangely generous. Yeah. Also, I have good upload now. Cat. Look at cat. A moderately large tabby cat basks in its own self-satisfaction. Yes, seems very satisfied about being a cat. Pet cat. The little cat bumps its forehead against your knee and starts kneading its paws against the ground. Talk to cat. Yes. Ah, expert meow. Holy cow, now that's a meow. I cannot give item to cat. Meow, wow. Door. It's the door to Shotaro's apartment building. All you can see inside is a staircase. Open door. The gate is locked. You have to be buzzed in by a resident to get in. Talk to door? There's no front attendant to hear you. Window. A gorgeous picture window with engraving and crown molding. The design is just slightly worn from weather and general outside hazards, but it's surprisingly good shape. Oh god. Is my water empty? My water is empty. Let me go to the other side of my massive ass, like fucking 30 square meter room and get my drink. I've been ordered to stretch. Yes, I need to take it easy on the stretching. I have major like muscle aches in half of my body from carrying all the furniture around. Body is hurt. But it's fine. I'll take it easy on the stretching. You can still redeem it. I'll be good. I can probably use the stretches anyway. When did they redesign this?
Huh?
Look at this shit. There used to be text there. What?
Is that your channel point thingy?
Yeah, that's my quick actions. This is like change stream info. Oh, now it's back. Wonderful. I want to open the channel point thing. It's done there. I need to rename them. I want to have the reward queue open. So I can redeem the stretch. Woo! This can opened the wrong way. Hold on. This will be slightly experimental. Okay. I've managed to open my drink. There we go. Hydrate completed. I bought a slightly like bent can because it was on sale. So thank you for the sub. Yay. ID card. Bloop. The keycard lock doesn't respond very well to your ID. Look at Orbe. The building's buzzer has just a layout of big buttons and a panel. Nothing too fancy. Boop.
Greetings, guests. I am LJ2, Shotaro Otsuka's Ra. Shotaro was not expecting any company at this hour, but I will let him know you are here. Sorry for the wait. Please hold on for just a moment while I fetch him.
That's encouraging.
But yeah, I appreciate you being around. It's always nice to have my regular in the chat. I wouldn't have it any other way.
That was odd. Maybe try the bell again.
Beep boom.
Greetings, guests. I am LJ2, Shotaro Otsuka's Ra. Shotaro was not expecting any company at this hour, but I will let him know you are here. Sorry for the wait. Please hold on for just a moment while I fetch him.
Again?
What is taking so long?
Once more?
All right, third time's the charm, right? Once more, with feeling.
Boop.
Greetings, guests. I am LJ2, Shotaro Otsuka's Ra. Shotaro was not expecting
Yeah, maybe he's in the bathroom.
but I will let him know you are here. Sorry for the wait.
Maybe.
Hold on for just a moment while I fetch him.
Ah! Why can't this ever be easy? I swear I'll blow out a fuse before we're done. Thank Hayden for system
Poor Turing.
redundancies. Well, that's that. Let's see if we can find a way into Mr. Otsuka's apartment ourselves.
I hope so. 3.
Did you know that palm trees used to be much more common? Almost a city staple?
This one looks very healthy too, but you feel like you already knew that part. What's shaken, tree? The trunk is prickled and rough as far as you can reach. Hello! They're holding a colorful umbrella. Wish you had thought ahead like that.
Hey, didn't I see you earlier at TMI? Nice to meet you. I'm Sky. You weren't prepared for the weather, huh? Your ROM looks fancy enough to keep track of that. My gym's closed this week for the holidays. Gonna see some family tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a crime, but it don't matter. The fire
The
escape.
apartment is on the second floor. The fire escape should give us access to his window. We just need something to let us reach it. I'm sure there's some piece of detritus or loose end laying around we could use.
Wow, Turing's really pumping out that thesaurus right there. Detritus.
Oh, that's how these things always work.
Did Turing just complain about point-and-click adventure mechanics?
How do we reach that?
Brick.
That isn't entirely a bad idea, but it's not exactly the most elegant method. Don't you think an investigative journalist like you can avoid heedless, brutish flap and find another way?
No, you're right. Let's keep looking.
You weren't prepared for the weather, huh? Your ROM looks fancy enough to keep track of that.
About that.
You want my umbrella?
Not for the weather. We need to use the hook handle to reach the fire escape ladder so we can pull it down.
Oh, you live here and lost your keycard, huh? I totally understand. I do that all the time.
Yes, we live here. We're not using it for breaking and entering. What are you talking about?
But look, as much as I'd love to give you this umbrella, I'm kinda using it right now. Where I come from, see, we're all about equal trades. It's part of our culture.
Gym culture?
Sorry, but unless you've got anything interesting to exchange for it, I'm gonna hold on to this. Don't want to get wet.
Would you like spoiled milk?
I'm trying to cut out dairy, honest.
Would you like a brick?
Not even going to ask.
Would you like a stupid brochure?
Those guys are gross. Are you a part of that? Oh, you're not? Then let's not talk about it, okay?
Hello, Free. How's it going? How's your back? That was a ride on Tuesday.
Hey, is this real? The real Yannick Fairlight?
I found the item.
Of course I do. He's one of the most innovative tech minds of the last few generations.
Imagine going to the bathroom, the doorbell rings 3 times, you can't answer because you're in the bathroom, and when you get out, 2 random people are inside your house. They are angry because you didn't open the door. Yes.
Please have this. I'll give you the umbrella.
Imagine taking a shower and you wake up to having people in your door.
I think it's a fair trade.
Oh well. Good to hear, Free. Good to hear. I'm already looking forward to when you can stream again. But don't rush it. Not on my account.
Thanks. Here you go. This is so exciting. I'm gonna go call him right now.
I was moving yesterday. That's what I mean. I didn't notice. Sorry. I'm stupid.
Call him. Maybe that wasn't the best idea. Oh well, now we have our tool and a pretty spiffy one at that. Let's go.
Well, let's combine umbrella with these.
Excellent work.
But yeah. Did you really? Are you just playing? Hold on. I'm stupid. Doesn't your Discord have a, like, stream announcement channel? I guess it doesn't. There, you have a schedule. Yep. Why did it not ping me? Anyway, yes. Wonderful. I'm stupid. But yeah, I was moving yesterday, basically like all day long. My everything hurts. But it's like semi done. All my stuff is here. Let's put it that way. Look at window. Oh, they would if all the blinds for this unit weren't closed. Use window. It's also hard to reach. It would be dangerous to try and climb through from the wall. Yeah, no, I obviously didn't get Twitch anything because I was offline the entire day from like 10 a.m. Use window.
It was unlocked. Let's go in.
I also didn't have internet until earlier this morning, so...
I'm not sure. My olfactory sensors detect chemicals associated with decaying food and something else I can't pin down. It's unfamiliar to me.
Okay, first let's inspect all the things in the room. We successfully also just broke in here. This window is open. It leads to the fire escape. This Christmas tree might be small, but it has a lot of spirit. Boop. It may be pocketry, but don't pickpocket it. Oh, breaking and entering is okay, but the stealing presents isn't. Okay. This panel controls the light and air conditioning of the whole apartment. Boop. There's no one to buzz in. Also, that would be weird.
That's better. Let's take a look around.
Antique WUBS speakers. They use actual wires to connect the receiver. Be careful, if you accidentally disconnect them, you'll never be able to get those things working again. A vintage Yorks amp. It has a connector for plugging in old phones. The protocols used by the GX Ultra Beats weren't around back when this baby was built. Excuse me? Excuse me? Brilliant. Wonderful. Good. Good. Glad we talked about that. Love it. Anyway, so Free, what are you up to today? What's your plan for the day? Yeah, it sexed me. That's brilliant. That's so good. Collection of books without writing. On writing good. You leaf through a book without creating compelling articles. An old greasy bag of to and fro, a fast food chain in the state is famous for. Flies are circling like vultures. Showed off his room. It called itself LJ2, right? You hear absolutely nothing. It can't scan anything while it's powered down, and it doesn't need this info anyway. Spoiled milk? You really shouldn't leave your milk with them. Then again, you probably shouldn't be walking around with it either. The ROM just sits there. It appears to be powered down. A fancy news feed made from multiple streams on the mesh idly plays on the TV. Muted. You can't find any way to work the TV. The flat screen is bare, embedded in the wall. It doesn't respond to your touch, and there's no power switch.
Shotaro must be plugged into the mesh. He hasn't even noticed us. I feel like I could scream without him knowing. Ah! Hi! Mr. Otsuka! Nothing.
Very cute.
Guest. Shotaro has been a bit under the weather recently, so he has not been receiving anyone. He is trying very hard to keep up with his deadlines, but I will check and see if he has a moment to speak with you.
We just checked, and he seems busy.
Is there anything else I might assist you with? A drink, perhaps?
How long has your owner been ill?
Shotaro has been under the weather for some time, but I could not tell you precisely when. He rarely has visitors or goes on outings, so this is only slightly abnormal behavior for him. In fact, you are the first visitor he has had in a while. Several days, in fact. Perhaps you could ask him about it yourself. I will check and see if he has a moment to speak with you.
Is your owner still making blog updates?
He is. Shotaro is a diligent man, even in the face of such adversity. If you are a reader of his work, his next significant piece will be going online tomorrow. I will not spoil it for you.
When was your last diagnostic check?
I run regular self-checks and have noticed no irregularities in either my hardware or software. I appreciate your concern. If you think I am behaving erratically, perhaps you could mention it to Shotaro. He is skilled at maintenance.
Nope, that's okay.
Very well. Let me know if you need anything. I'm always happy to assist.
Look at desk. What a blocky desk. There aren't any drawers or shelves. Boop. Don't mess with Shotaro's things just because he's currently distracted.
He won't be able to hear us while he's plugged in.
Nudge? Uh-oh.
Oh no, we're too late.
He's already dead. How long has he been there?
It looks like he's been here for a couple of days, maybe a little longer. That means whoever did this did it before we even found out about all of this. Stabbed in the chest, right through the back of the chair. Looks like it severed his carotid artery. I don't want to make any assumptions, but I can't help but wonder if this was done by the same person who assaulted Zin. His mom doesn't
Probably.
even think anything is wrong. We need to hurry. If I'm right, everyone we've talked to so far is in more danger than we thought.
Oh no.
Someone is following us. We have to find his computer so I can see if I can pull anything relevant off of it. You interrogate his ROM. Maybe you can find out why it's acting so strange.
Yep. He actually did.
It's so gruesome, so tragic. I was never prepared to handle anything like this. I hate this.
Yeah, me too, Turing. Me too.
Shotaro has been a bit under the weather recently, so he has not been receiving any. He is trying very hard to keep up with his deadlines, but I will check and see if he has a moment to speak with you.
It's okay. We'll wait.
Is there anything else I might assist you with? A drink, perhaps?
Shotaro is dead, LJ2.
It shut itself down again. Let's see if we can pull some useful information off of Mr. Otsuka's computer. If we can find it.
Boop. There it is. It's touch sensitive. This entire desk must be Mr. Otsuka's computer. Well, boop.
I'll start downloading these files. I finished my examination of Mr. Otsuka's computer. I didn't find anything particularly interesting, but I copied some files to be examined later.
Nice.
We're all done here. We should hurry and go warn Nanya about what we found. Charlie
Yep.
needs sympathy too.
Let's warn Nanya.
They might be in immediate danger, so we must act fast. Let's head for Nanya's business.
Let's head for Nonya's business. Let's do it. Yup, you were actually on spot, Kakuin. 100%.
Shit! What the hell are you doing back here? Wait, let me guess. You stole some of my files, or hacked my brain, or used telepathy or some shit. Found out someone else got hit by your little ghost in the machine, and when you got there, found out he was deader than New Disco. That close enough?
That is distressingly accurate.
Well, it wasn't much of a damned guess. Charlie Nova is dead.
No.
What? Charlie is...
The autocab he was in drove him right off the bridge and into the bay. It's been all over the news for the last 10 minutes, and I'm not looking to be next. I'm getting the hell out of NeoSF, and I'm gonna forget that I ever saw you, ever knew Charlie, ever gave a shit about any of this. Hell, maybe I'll pick up a new career. I'm less likely to get murdered for being a fry cook, that's for damn sure. Have a good life!
Holy shit.
No. Why is this happening? There was no one in that car. No heat signatures, no wireless emissions, nothing. That wasn't even an auto cab. It's a manual.
How's that even possible?
I don't know. I don't know. That's it. This is too much. I've had enough. I don't care who's controlling the news anymore. Almost everyone we've talked to so far has died, and I can't live with any more blood on my hands. We're not investigating this lead any further. As of right now.
It's not our fault, Shearing.
Logically, I know that. We haven't set out to harm anyone. But someone is using us as a stalking horse, hiding behind our investigation to clean up whatever this is. If they want to keep taking out people involved in this, they're going to have to dig them up without our help.
That's fair.
We don't have any other leads anyway. Thank you for sticking with me, though.
No problem, Turing.
We have more pressing avenues of inquiry to make. Let's move on. should go to Melody's home and at least meet her.
Yep, we should do that. So let's go. Something wrong?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was wool gathering. I see we've arrived at the Melody Flores residence. It's quite impressive.
It would be a lot better if it wasn't cold. But yeah, I do like it so far. Again, probably not broken. Just I didn't turn it on soon enough. This style of heater won't work if you didn't turn it on the day before.
But that's to be expected, considering that she is still the majority owner of the Flower Cybernetics Group, despite retiring from day-to-day operations at the company. I wonder how she and Hayden first began working together. Sorry, back on task. Is there anything you'd like to know before we head inside?
Yes. Give me a rundown of Flower Cybernetics.
Flower Cybernetics was established in the early 2000s by Melody's mother, Antonella. It started out developing cutting-edge medical tech, including advanced prosthesis and nanoparticle diagnostic and treatment technologies. They were vastly successful when they perfected the first synthetic nerve mesh, allowing direct connection and control between the nervous system and a cybernetic prosthesis. The majority of their early projects were defense technologies for the American military, developing ruggedized military prosthesis for use on injured soldiers, and then eventually electively for special forces. This research line culminated in the development of brain-controlled androids as shock troops, long since barred by international law. Melody took over the company from her aging mother, and she fought against developing further military hardware from that point on. She pushed the company to use the BCA technology for the company's original goals of medical advancement, as well as developing the first direct link virtual reality implants.
Ooh.
The company is largely successful on a global scale, despite continued legislative movement against extensive cybernetic use, especially brain implants.
What can you tell me about Melody?
Not a whole lot. She's largely private, in contrast to her mother's penchant for courting a media circus. Several biographies of former Flower executives show her as intensely passionate about demilitarizing the company to the point of absolute viciousness in the boardroom. But it's been a long time since her days of fighting for the company, and she's since stepped away from the helm. There's talk that she's lost her spine in her old age, but... well, I'd take that with a grain of salt. She may have retreated from the corporate battlefield, but you don't change the entire direction of a company as large as Flower if you're a quitter.
True.
Stay on your toes.
Didn't Yannick say he and Melody had a falling out?
He did, and I can't shine much light on that. I know that System 1 worked with Flower to help develop the first operating systems for the Direct Link virtual reality implants, so perhaps it happened during that time. Also, Flower eventually went with a different company for future models of the implant, but there was never any public talk of a personal falling out between the heads
No,
of
the Wi-Fi gods. Oh no.
I'll scrape the mesh for more rumors, but they'll only be that, rumors. I can do my best to parse fact from fiction, but it blurs too much for me to be sure what's real.
Let's go ahead and head in.
No time like the present, then.
Plant.
These tall shrubs could line the estate of a Victorian duke. They're that stuffily pleasant to look at. These evergreens are perfectly sculpted. Be careful not to wreck the mold if you touch.
Use electro laser pistol. The plant takes the waltz like a champ, resolute and green in the face of the pistol's rage. Small-scale bear statues guard the entrance to the mansion. Hey baby, what's Urson? The statue's head is too big to fit them on. No sweet jams for this bear. Brick? It is with a dull thud and the statue wavers slightly on its base. Umbrella. Alas, there's no rain for the statue to shield itself from. Ursingen. Touch. You can't take it. Not marble. Not the gilded monuments. Windows line the front of the house and broadcast the hints of an expertly designed den inside. A small, poorly photographed version of your face is now directly displayed against the mansion window. Oddly enough, this unlocks no secret entrances, awards no points, and just makes Turing look at you kinda funny. The windows try their best to produce a deep, meaningful lyrics, but the effort is transparent. It's framed with light blue curtains that probably cost more than your rent, each.
They'd look cuter if they had little outfits on.
Ah. The silence is unbearable.
Don't destroy the Ursine aesthetic.
They have the stale beauty that can only come from the care of obligated professionals. Two dark wooden doors make up the mansion's entranceway. A small foyer can be seen through the mottled glass.
Maybe we should ring the bell first?
Maybe. Spoiled milk. This place is so rich and old-fashioned, it wouldn't be surprising if they really did still have a milk delivery person. The Organizational Outreach Act of 2043 forbade anyone from presenting pamphlets from groups they weren't affiliated with in private doorways. Yeah, Turing's just there, like, vibing. Like, what are they doing? This looks like the buzzer for an apartment complex. She needs one of these just for one house? Can't use the speaker without ringing the bell. Okay. Bear. Hi, is Melody home?
Your guess is as good as mine. Mine
Bear.
says we can go in. Should we?
Yes. The door to the Grand Mansion is open. How did that bear even turn the door handle?
Oh, wow. Swanky.
Swanky?
What? I have been trying to increase my usage of colloquialisms. Is swanky too out of date?
It's certainly before my time.
Oh, Miss Flores! Excuse us for the intrusion. My name is Turing, and...
Oh, I know who you are.
I can explain. I know you don't like Dr. Fairlight very much, but I assure you there's a situation.
Fairlight. I didn't realize Hayden's research had become a charity case. Though I suppose little boy Yannick will throw money at anything that raises his profile on the mesh.
Wait, you know Hayden? Also, we actually only just met Dr. Fairlight yesterday.
Oh, that's too bad. Now Pat won't have to eat you.
What?
Though I'm not sure your gears would have been good for his digestion.
Actually, madam, I'm not comprised of gears.
Well, either way, he's on a diet.
Bear.
This philosophy is how I lead my life. Sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear, well, he eats you. Do you understand?
Not really.
Look, I don't have all day to entertain you, Turing, nor your new friend. Not even for Hayden. You don't have time to waste if you're going to find him, either.
Right.
Gardening room. A Malcolm model room is tending to the garden. A large climate-controlled globe towers in the lounge. It has some lively in-season plants inside. Plants are listening to an ambient trance playlist on their platform called Rudy. Out of all the healthy plants and interesting habitats you've come across, this one takes the metaphorical cake. The planter box looks impossible to open, but rubbing the outside does produce a nice squeaky plastic and furniture sound. Room. A Arrow 51E-893 unit from the emblem on its side. It sits patiently near Pat in a sort of ambient sleep mode, playing light instrumental music. They are designed to remain in sleep mode until reactivated only by its owner's voice. Boop. Like the high-stakes socialite relationships it monitors, the Arrow 51E is extremely delicate. Okay. The latest episode of Media Blitz is going into the sordid details of a new T-Nectar's Island love affair with a local politician's daughter. Ooh, drama.
Media Blitz disabled touch interactivity on their show after the appearance of their new host, a former swimming champion, led to thousands of screens being fondled into disrepair.
Okay then. Spoiled milk? Sad. The last time Media Blitz hosted a celebrity that supported the human revolution, the amount of angry messages from both sides that the studio received caused a network-wide ban on the issue. A direct feed viewer request have been recalculated for this episode of Media Blitz already. A room control monitor is fixed on the back of the wall of the room. The temperature is set too low. It's freezing. Hey, just like in real life. Only Madame Flores and a team of techno-archaeologists could figure out how to make this fossil run. It's old, but it's not in need of a defibrillator. Defibrillator. This thing is so old, it might even agree with you and reminisce on the good old days when the computers and humankind were separate but functional. Putting this techno-codger out of its misery might be for the best, but maybe it's still kicking around for a reason. Strawberries. The biggest strawberries you have ever seen are assembled in a china bowl on the coffee table. Eat? They look so good to eat, that might be the point. These strawberries have been modified to resist electrocution, to protect growth in the face of storms. If ever there was a case to be made for pure naturalism, this bowl of modified strawberries would be it. A plush purple fainting chair dominates the room. This chair keeps a strict 1-to-1 human-to-animal ratio. This chair is for recovering from social exhaustion. The conversation chairs are in the tea room. No. You want to network with the people on the expensive chairs? Not with the furniture itself. Milk? It would make a great abstract statement about social stratification and class politics, but the cleaning bill would be catastrophic. While the stun gun would certainly cause fainting, and thus make the chair useful, it would just stinch the upholstery fired directly on the chair.
Melody keeps unusual company.
Bear.
Ursus maritimus, if I'm not mistaken. That might be why the temperature controls are set so low in here.
Yep, definitely a polar bear.
I wasn't aware you knew the scientific name of the species. Ooh, has my interest in proper nomenclature started to rub off on you?
He's a white bear, Turing. What else could he be?
Plenty. Have you heard of a Kermode bear, also known as a spirit bear? Or he could be a white-phase black bear, or even a Pisley. But he's not. It's a polar bear.
ID card. Did Pat just snicker at your DMV photo? Hard to tell with his butler politeness. The milk is sentient for sure. Spoiled milk? Don't feed the bears. Wow, that little helmet he wears is constantly translating the TV into growls and grunts in his ears so he can understand.
Run!
Don't be fooled by the veneer of courtesy. Pat is a bear with brain implants and probably knows exactly what this is. Guessing he wouldn't appreciate this propaganda. Touch? Pat is Melody's butler, not yours. He will offer service when and only when his mistress permits. Hello. So, grrr and stuff. Yes. Cat. The most regal-looking robotic cat in the world sits prim and proper in the fainting chair. It looks remarkably bored at all attempts at conversation. It already knows who you are, and it's unimpressed. You give the cat a pet, and the name on her collar says Lily. Milk? If this kid had the ability to drink from a saucer of soured milk, it would become the single most spoiled entity to ever exist. Brick? The no animals were harmed message is more important than spitting a snooty kitty. Melody Flores, Nanomachine Harris, and the owner of the Flower Cybernetics Group. Try again when you have trust fund and hold a majority of a Fortune 500 company.
That's nice, dear. That's gross, dear.
Offering pure human propaganda to one of the longest-lived voices in cybernetics is not just foolhardy in terms of your career. Madame Flores will literally pay off your friends and family to disown you. Not sure which retaliation would be the most devastating. Melodies, the bears, or whatever that cat has up its sleeve. Umbrella.
Do you think something as banal as rainfall is ever a concern for someone like me?
Maybe? Hello.
If you were one of Fairlight's worker bees, you wouldn't have made it through the door. So why are you here to badger me about poor Hayden?
You have me at a disadvantage, Ms. Flores. You seem far ahead of us on this matter.
True.
Just call me Melody, darling. And of course. But I'll share a secret or two with you.
I have so many questions. Do you know what's happened to Hayden?
I wish I didn't. Maybe you don't want to either.
Please, Melody, any information you might have. We haven't had access to any of his research notes, and couldn't track down any collaborators he may have been working with. Perhaps if we know more, we might be able to nail down a solid motive.
Hopefully.
Well, I don't know if I can speculate on that, beyond the usual corporate infighting. Not that Parallax is known for that, of course. We had been catching up recently, and he mentioned feelings of being watched. He started to worry you'd been discussing your development with the wrong people. When he stopped returning my calls, and now that you've shown up with a total stranger, it becomes clear what happened.
I see. Can you tell us anything else about his disappearance?
Oh, I'm afraid not, dear. I've been around long enough to know what's coincidence and what isn't.
We were hoping you might be able to shine some light on my origins. Fairlight mentioned that you had worked with Hayden in the past.
I see Hayden didn't neglect curiosity in your personality makeup. Well,
Turing is so
you
cute.
and I haven't properly met, but considering how often Hayden badgered me for design schematics of Flower's latest neural implants, I might as well be your aunt? We'll go with that. I wouldn't mind being an aunt, even to a blue-headed robot.
I'm touched, Melody.
Well,
Family!
I'm willing to answer your questions for now.
Let's go. How did you help Hayden with Turing?
Indeed. I don't see the connection between your company and Hayden's research into machine sapience.
Oh, Hayden wasn't researching machine sapiens. At least not primarily. Not to diminish the importance of your creation, Turing, but it's best you know the truth. Hayden is mainly interested in developing a way to transfer human consciousness into a machine matrix. You can see why neural implants would obviously be an integral part of that.
Oh, I didn't realize.
How would Turing's development help with digitizing the human mind?
The concept of transferring the human mind into a computer has been an attractive goal for decades. Functional immortality is a powerful lure. The brain is an immensely
That voice acting.
machine, and
The bear
even
sprite
though
is so
we
cute, yes.
wants
Just,
to push to make pictures show up, we still can't replicate the entire thing as a technological construct. Even with the virtual reality implants, we're really just relying on the brain's ability to make sense of nonsensical signals. So Hayden decided the best way to make a machine more like the human brain would be to work in the opposite direction. Instead of mimicking how the human brain worked, he started writing code that mimicked the functioning of the human mind. Think of it like convergent evolution. Two species adapt in similar ways, but on completely different continents. Hayden is a crack programmer when it comes to information collating. It's why Parallax hired him when they did. So he wrote a bunch of self-modifying learning algorithms that were, frankly, baffling and let them loose. Poke and prod them here and there to make sure they value the same things humans do. And we eventually end up with you, Turing.
Turing!
Hayden never revealed any of this to me.
I imagine he's pretty tight-lipped. You were the first prototype he considered a real success, and He was afraid of contaminating your development before he had a chance to make good observations.
Can you elaborate on your involvement?
Phew, if you can even call it involvement. It's a small city, and if you're in the tech sector, you are never more than 2 degrees removed from anyone else. When he started looking into this pet project of his, he came right up to my door and demanded access to the research logs behind our earlier implants. Cheeky, but it was impactful and disruptive, as they like to say around here. I couldn't care less about Flowers' patents anymore, so I gave him what he wanted, just to see what he would do. I'm frankly more impressed than I expected I would be, but don't tell him that.
Don't worry. I won't.
Oh, Turing.
Oh, that was a compliment, dear.
Hayden wasn't invested in Turing's development?
I didn't say that. Hayden was quite interested in Turing, even if he is just a step to further research. In fact, he was preparing to publish his findings involving Turing, and I know it's going to make one heck of a splash in the scientific community. See, the most impressive part about you, Turing, is that you're surprisingly stock.
I assure you, Melody, my construction involves only the latest and greatest in ROM prototype technology.
She offended pure Turing. Ah.
Exactly. You're not off the shelf, but you're still just a souped-up ROM, more or less like every other one out there. Your personality algorithms are impressive, but they don't require some new space-age technology to work. Hayden is going to propose that human
Offended baby, yes.
does not require special brain-like hardware architecture, but merely the right software wrapper to interface with the hardware. Much like how you function.
I suppose that is correct. Still, my personality matrices do take up substantial amounts of my processing power. Wouldn't custom hardware have capabilities that better serve such a demanding specialized task?
Sure, there's still plenty of reason in trying to make a computer that works just like a human brain. Efficiency is an important part of that. But if Hayden can emulate the human mind in
Oh, my upstream just died there for a second.
He can start the immortality now, rather than waiting for hardware to catch up with Hayden's software. Frankly, I'm not terribly interested in living forever, but there's more than enough people who are.
Thank you for this, Melody. I understand so little of my origins.
I'm sorry, I
Turing.
don't know more of the specifics. Hayden kept me up to date on his progress, but only in the vaguest of ways. If you can hunt down his notes, I'm sure they'll tell you more.
Of course, we'll keep looking. Now, perhaps we could ask some other questions?
Sure.
What's the story between you and Fairlight?
Oh, hell, that old bastard and I have been flashing daggers at each other for the better part of 20 years. I contracted out the software development for our first-gen direct-link VR neural implants to System 1. Things were going great, but after the first models sold like gangbusters, Yannick tried to get into bed with me. Literally.
You.
I turned him down. Very politely, I might add. And then, suddenly, all of the cooperation between our companies dried up. We've been at it back and forth ever since. I'd be damned careful about trusting him if I were you. He's a snake, and he'll do anything he can to get what he wants. Still,
That sounds
I
awfully
suppose if
suspicious.
you tried again now, I might not turn him down. It would be fun to needle him about me still having my own company when he doesn't have his.
I think that's everything we need to know.
Good. I can get back to my retirement.
Thank you for your time, Melody. We'll be in touch later.
Savage indeed.
Oh, one more piece of information for you, if you'd like it. I've got the contact info for a Vincent Mensa, who I think might be of help to you. Vincent was working more closely with Hayden inside Parallax, mostly on his company-approved research on data collating algorithms for the mesh. I'll send him a message and ask him to meet you somewhere. He owes me a
Interesting.
favor anyway, and might be able to give you some more information on anything else Hayden may have been working on.
That would be fantastic, Melody.
You will be great.
Golden Gate Park.
Be careful, Turing. I don't like Fairlight's stench all over this scenario. Don't show him too many of your cards.
I'll be careful, don't you worry.
Cards? This euphemism is unfamiliar to me.
Don't tell him anything if you can. Fairlight is more dangerous the more he's informed.
Thank you, Aunt Melody. Wish us luck.
Aunt Melody. Ah, so cute. Okay. I need to do something about this cold room. Give me a second. Okay. Hello. I return. I've taken some measurements. I hope the heater I turned on, it's a little electric fan with a warming element in it, is not too loud. But it should be very audible in the background.
It received its second restoration nearly 10 years ago. That's over 70 years since its first reopening back in 1984.
Ooh. You've never seen this person, and they appear to be waiting for somebody. Perhaps this is who you're supposed to meet. Is it louder than the background music? That's the one thing that would annoy me personally.
Can I help you? I don't really have time to talk. I'm waiting for someone.
Are you Vincent Mensa?
Okay.
We're here for a meeting on behalf of Melody Flores.
Oh, good. You're Melody's people. Do you have everything that I asked for?
There must be some miscommunication. Melody said that you would be able to provide us with some information about Hayden Weber's projects within Parallax. He has gone missing, and any information we get may be useful.
Damn that old woman.
What?
We had a deal. She promised me, and I'm not giving up anything until I get what I need. I already know Hayden is missing. Why else would I be willing to sell corporate secrets to Flower? This was my chance to get out of the city. Instead, she sends the two of you, hat in hand, with nothing.
Suspicious.
I'm assuming you're Hayden's little pet AI?
Sure is.
But accurate.
I want to turn it slightly louder. The game, I mean. Maybe like this. Maybe he does. Maybe he wants spoiled milk.
Look, I'm sorry to come off callous. I do want to help. Hayden was a colleague and a friend, and I want to know he's okay. But I also need help getting the hell out of Neo SF, and now. My info is my leverage, and it's not for free. I'll just have to find another buyer. Maybe after I make another deal, I'll be able to pass it to you.
Perhaps we could assist you? My friend here is a terrific journalist. Being skilled at hunting down people and information is part of the job.
I don't know. Look, I need 100,000 credits, an untraceable car, and a fake passport for me and my wife, Francesca. If you can get me all that, I'll give you anything you want. Hayden's research notes, what I know about Parallax, my company's security credentials, whatever. If you're really sure journals can come up with that kind of stuff in one day.
We might be able to do that.
Might?
Do you mind answering some other questions first?
Dear God, I'm doomed.
Melody only gave us a rough sketch of what you need. The more you can tell us about the situation, the sooner we can fulfill your request.
Sure, as long as it isn't the juicy stuff.
What do you do for Parallax?
I'm the head applications engineer for their data analysis division. Or maybe was, is what I should be saying. If Hayden is the big brain who comes up with the math that runs the search algorithms, I'm the guy who figures out how to collect and apply the data that we get. We've worked pretty closely for years, but he's head and shoulders above me as far as theory goes. Hayden built a fully independent machine intelligence in his spare time. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to bash myself here. I'm a good software engineer, probably one of the best. But machine intelligence? In a form factor like yours? Now that blows my mind. We've got full immersion, virtual reality, yet most people would still call you science fiction.
True.
If you say so.
Why are you so adamant about getting out of Neo SF?
Because Parallax is rotting from the inside out. Hayden going missing is the last straw, and it's a big-ass straw. There is... How do I put this without giving it away? There's a new project about to roll out, and it's going to change everything about how Parallax does their business worldwide. Since the launch of the MeshNet, we've had some board shakeups, and the people at the top are different from the ones who've previously run the company. The altruism the company displayed in the past is gone. They're harder, more ruthless, and more concerned with profits and power than ever before. Not just richest company in the Valley power either. Real power. My guess? Parallax got rid of Hayden because he was about to do something that would get in the way of that. If they're willing to get rid of the brightest mind on their payroll, what's to stop them from getting rid of me? There's a half dozen people who could do my job. So I'm getting out before I accidentally step on the wrong person's toes and end up at the bottom of the bay.
Do you know anything about Hayden's disappearance?
Nothing concrete. I probably wouldn't have noticed anything out of the ordinary. I mean, Hayden goes out for a couple days all the time, right? Conferences and guest teaching. He doesn't exactly share his itinerary with me. I tried asking around and no one will say anything. If he had jumped ship, went to a different company, it would be the talk of the week at the water coolers. Instead, dead silence. Thankfully, he allowed me to keep backups of most of his work, simply because I cross-referenced it so much. He didn't like having it all in one place anyway. Bring me what I asked for, and I'll tell you more.
Thank you. We'll go get those things for you.
Sure. I guess I can stick around here for a while. I need to make some calls anyway. If you do manage to get what I need, bring it here today and you'll get anything you want. Forwarding photos and info for the passports to Turing now. And I really hope you can do this. I'd rather give it to you than some other corporation anyway. See you soon.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure where to get fake passports or an untraceable car. The only shady folks we know are those punks who vandalized Hayden's apartment. I doubt they could point us in the right direction, but a long shot is better than no shot.
Time to meet the
They
punks.
might help us
Begin.
investigate the damage done to the apartment. They seemed remorseful. We should check Market Street for them, in case they regularly hang out there. As for the rest, perhaps Dr. Fairlight or Melody could spot us the credits. That certainly is no small amount, but is unlikely to cause much consternation for either of them, assuming they are as dedicated to helping as they claim. Melody is assumably home as usual, and Fairlight did let us know he'd be at the hospital. We could ask either of them for assistance. Up to you to decide which would be a better course of action.
Okay. I'll go to Market Street. And I'm gonna boop. Duration 5 minutes. There we go. Hello. Hello, Starfucker.
Oh crap! It's that reporter in the bot again. Cheese it, Ollie.
Hold on a moment. We're just here to ask the two of you for a favor. You don't need to run again.
I knew you didn't have the guts to mess with me.
Guts?
The absolute legend, yes.
And why would we want to help you?
We did trash that apartment, Chad.
Yeah? So?
We also didn't report you to the police for it.
Yeah? So?
And they still could.
True.
Oh. Alright, well, spill it then. I ain't got all day. Can't you see me and Oliver are busy?
No,
We
I'm
need
blind.
some assistance with some illicit activity that, statistically, individuals in your age bracket are likely to have experience with.
Oh, so this is one of those things where you need a streetwise kid to show you the ropes.
Yep.
So, what's the thread? B&E? War driving? Copyright infringement? Search bombing?
Copyright infringement.
Is search bombing actually illegal?
It's against the terms of service, so probably, at least in California.
We need to buy some fake IDs today, if possible.
Oh, that's nothing. If you can pay. Ollie can whip up a couple that'll work good enough to get you past a bouncer or a cop doing sniff tests. He's a wizard with a printer and a lifted wallet.
It's more complicated than that. We need falsified passports that can get two people past the border safely.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Ollie can do that. Can you?
Not without equipment a lot more expensive and illegal than what I already have.
What about that guy who got at least that unrestricted mesh card when she was on probation?
That's not really the same thing, Chad. But it wouldn't hurt to give him a call. Give me a few minutes. This guy is pretty sketchy.
They are so
With a
cute.
dagger. I'll have to play middleman.
Excellent. I'll forward you the relevant documents and photos.
Oh man, now I'm starting to feel left out. Ollie gets to show off all his cool connections. You sure you don't need someone's head kicked in a little? That's my area of expertise in our little duo.
Sure is.
Well, that and petty larceny.
We might have something that will suit your skill set. Let's just get the passports first, if you can stay calm for that long.
You sure yap a lot more than any of the ROMs I've ever owned. What's the deal? You install some new conversation routines Ollie ain't had the chance to nerd out about yet? Well, they're top notch. Very bleeding edge.
Blah.
I don't run traditional ROM VI personality software. I am, in fact, the first fully sapient machine intelligence. Well, at least that I know about.
Which means what exactly in English?
It means he's a person, Chad, not a toy. Now keep it down. I'm still on the phone.
Oops. And yes, what he said.
Well, that's awesome. You ain't so bad. For a tin can.
Tin can? Really? I'm composed almost entirely out of plasteel and silica. Has no one come up with better insults for robots since the turn of the century?
Turing is offended by how bad the insult is.
ROMs have been out for almost 2 decades.
Yeah, that's a good point. Give me a sec. I'm pretty good good at name calling too.
Oh no, I'm sorry I brought it up.
Oh no.
Just hold on a second. Underclocked? Oh, Bitbrain!
Don't hurt yourself, Chad.
I'll get back to you, Bubblehead.
Okay, I talked to the guy. He said he'll do it, but he only works in trade. A couple of passports are gonna run us... One signpost for Commander Yukino at the gates to the deep?
Of course. It's always that Japanese crap.
It's not my fault they make the best VR dramas. Maybe you can do better?
Probably.
Anyway, where can we get a poster like that?
I'm not sure. Probably nearby. I've done switches with this guy before, and he never asks for something that'll take too long to get. My guess is he's a local that uses people like us as a way to nab something he's had his eye on. We'll help you look for it.
They are, indeed. Chad and Oliver has joined your party. I know who has Japanese stuff.
Oh, there it is! I knew I saw a poster for Magical Commander Yukino somewhere around here. I should have remembered Ramona had one.
You know this lady?
Sure. We talk sometimes when I'm getting our drinks. You're usually too busy provoking people to notice.
You call it provoking. I call it spontaneous enthusiasm for healthy rivalry.
So cute.
Bit of a line. We'll have to wait a few minutes before we can talk to her.
We could just do a smash and grab. Simple and effective.
We can't do that! She knows who we are!
Us too.
This is the most boring felony I've ever been an accessory to.
Look, we'll just stand in line.
Like a bunch of clumps? Chumps? What is the big picture anyway, Blue Bomber?
I'm not sure it's wise to spread it around, Chad. For either of us, the less you know, the less reason anyone has to bother you.
Screw that, Static. I'm not heading to juvie not knowing what for. Spill the beans, or I'll spill them for you.
Also, look at all the people who are here. It's one person we haven't met yet. It's the arcade punk from Stardust. It's the green hybrid from Hybrid Night on Stardust. And it's Keith. I love Keith.
Persistence is already legendary, Chad. Fine. If you really must know, we are going to trade the passports for some information regarding the disappearance of my creator. His apartment was the one you trashed.
Oh shit, that Hayden dude is your dad? And they snatched him? Oh, that's so messed up.
Well, Dad after a fashion. He raised me.
Man, I hope you find the dudes that took him. I hope he's okay.
It seems very unlikely.
Oh man, I don't know what to say, you know? I mean, I still have my dad, but he's...
Chad?
He's never really been around. Too busy trying to save the world from itself. Even now, he's over there standing in front of that damn clinic.
Yep. Chad Mulberry, the leader of the human revolution, is his father.
And I thought I could find a way to make him... Whatever. I might as well nuke that drive. It ain't gonna sink.
I think I understand what you mean, Chad.
Hell yeah! Dudes gotta stick together, you know?
Dudes?
Brum.
Don't matter if you're a robot or what. We all got the same shit to deal with. Gotta grab destiny by the horns and make your own mark.
From the mouth of babes, you're smarter than you look, Chad. Pretty open-minded for a kid who takes for the HR. I'll take this one.
Hey, won't fault you on good taste, but watch that whole babe thing. I'm taken, and I don't need no game being spit my way.
That's not... Never mind.
Cause he's taken.
The line is finally cleared up. Let's go talk to Ramona.
Hey, Ramona.
Hey, Allie.
Salutations, Ramona.
What can I do for you all?
Ahem.
Oh, this is my friend, Chad.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
We were hoping you might be able to give us your assistance, Ms. Rogers.
We want to make a trade for that magical Commander Yukino poster over there. It's necessary for us to get some pretty important information.
No way! Not happening. Nuh-uh. Yukino is off limits.
This is literally a matter of life and death, Ramona.
How does life and death depend on a nerdy poster? Look, I don't even care. That poster was signed by Takeko herself. It's one of a kind, and I'm not giving it up.
I'd rather not drag you any further into this than necessary, but I promise that we're not overstating it. This is a dire situation, and people have already died.
Jeez. Look, whatever you're doing sounds sketch as hell. I and Magical Commander Yukino herself want no part in it. I don't even see how the poster can help.
Man, you nerds sure do love your cheap crap from the net.
Cheap crap! I'll have you know, that poster is worth hundreds of credits. Maybe more.
Maybe.
Takeko passed away years ago, so there aren't any more of them getting signed. It's special.
Sure it is.
He doesn't get it. He's not in the fandom.
Thankfully.
We can get you another. It'll only take a few days.
It's not just a poster. It was a gift from someone. Someone I care about, okay? Besides, you can't get another one. Takeko passed away a few years ago.
Perhaps there's something else that would make a suitable trade?
You aren't hearing me, are you? It has sentimental value. You can't replace that. Look, you'll just have to order something off the mesh, because you can't have this one.
Oh, we don't have time. This lead will dry up by then.
Keep me out of this.
Please, Ramona.
Okay, enough. How about this for a trade? I have an original keyframe cell from Pretty Champion Sailor Sirius, signed by Takeko at home.
Whoa! You have a signed Sailor Sirius cell? That's super rare! They stopped doing keyframes by hand right around the time of her death.
You can't be serious, Ollie! You have that thing framed on your wall! And you wouldn't shut up about it for a week after you got it!
This is important, Chad. You can't say you wouldn't do the same thing if someone had your dad. Think about Turing. I can't ask Ramona to give up something important to her if I'm not willing to do the same.
Maybe.
Look, okay, I don't know what's going on, but you can't give me that cell for the poster.
But we need...
Yeah, you'll get the poster. Whatever you're doing, it must be really important if you'd be willing to give that up. Do you have something more equal to trade, Ollie?
A couple of things, maybe.
We'll talk about it then. Maybe you can find me another one, too. Go ahead and take the poster.
Ollie is so sweet.
Thank you, Ramona.
Yes! I can't tell you how much it means to us, Ms. Rogers.
Sure. And, you think I could see that cell sometime, Ollie?
Of course! I'll bring it over when we talk about the trade.
So cool.
Thank you, Ramona. Can I get this thing to say Hassie? Probably not.
I don't like the way she was flirting with you, Ollie.
What are you talking about?
I know flirting when I see it, and I'm saying I don't like it. Not one bit.
Just talk about old anime sometimes, Chad. Neither of us are interested in the other.
Sure.
Well, we have the poster now. What's next?
Go ahead and call this number, Turing. He'll want to set up the drop with you, now that I've introduced you to him.
Sure. Change the subject.
I'll call him right now then. It's ringing.
You the ones looking for some papers?
Sure are.
We are, and we have the requested payment with us.
Good. We're gonna do this real professional-like. You know Stardust?
I do.
The suspicious background music.
Head there. Leave the poster behind the Megaphobator arcade cabinet, and get out. Come back 10 minutes later, and your stuff will be behind the machine.
I understand.
Good. I'll be waiting.
Well, that was very mysterious.
Yeah, that's how this guy is. I don't even know his name, and I've been getting things from him for a few years now.
Who cares? Let him play Spy Master if he wants. Let's hurry up to Stardust and get this over with. I've wasted enough of my day with this crap.
Hold on, I require... There it is. Hassie. Okay. I actually missed how that poll went. Whoops.
Go inside to make the drop. We'll wait out here.
Yeah. Don't want to get our IDs taken.
I suppose I should feign surprise.
Hey, it's a pretty cool set. even if it is like a million years old.
They don't really care about the IDs unless you try to hit the bar.
Found that one out the hard way.
We would have been fine if you hadn't taken a swing at the bouncer.
So I like the hard way.
We'll be right back, gentlemen. Try not to set the building on fire while we're gone.
But yeah, anyone in chat remember the poll results? Because I don't. Hey Tess, how you go? Poster.
Well, that should do it. That was an awful lot of fuss over a poster. I just don't understand the appeal of merchandise like this. I keep my important possessions on my data drive.
Oh, humans don't have total recall like you do.
Ah, that is true. Ramona seemed more concerned with it being a gift from a friend than as an item of importance in its own right. Perhaps it is necessity to keep such things around as tokens from better times.
The Stardust music is so
From
good.
the apartment, whatever's left. I do have perfect recall, but a few of Hayden's things would be nice reminders. Memories are better for remembering than reading. But that's enough navel-gazing. Let's head back outside so our benefactor can make the trade.
Let's go.
Y'all do the deal?
How did it go?
We left the poster behind the cabinet. Now we just need to wait for the switch.
I've never had to wait more than 5 minutes or so before. It shouldn't take long.
Okay.
I wonder how he knows the drop happened, and gets to it so fast.
Don't matter. This guy's a solid feed, even if he likes to mess around.
What do you need these passports for anyway? You said to trade for information, but what's the full story?
Without going into too much detail, our informant needs to get out of Neo SF unnoticed. The passports are one part of that. We also need to obtain an untraceable car. I don't suppose the two of you could help with that?
No way, dude! Grand Theft Auto is a felony with a capital F! Besides, getting an untraceable car ain't in the same league as a piece of plastic that'll fool a hand scanner.
Chad's right.
Of course I'm right.
The city's traffic management system keeps track of all vehicles passively, even if you manage to circumvent their firmware and keep them from actively reporting to the network. You have to spoof the car as something permitted to be invisible for the CTOS to ignore it.
I don't want to mess with boosting cars anyway. The junks run that racket in Neo SF, and they don't play nice.
Especially with the HR.
Well, thank you either way. You've both done us a huge favor. Call it even for the apartment.
Yeah, Blue. No hard feelings. You give us a call if you need anything else, long as it'll help you find your pops.
We should get going, though. We were supposed to be home hours ago.
My dad won't notice, but Ollie's will flip. You take care. Don't get de-rezzed.
See ya!
Bye!
Goodbye! let's finish the trade inside.
Okay. So, notice how the poster is right there? Like, a new poster mysteriously appeared in Stardust. Huh. There it is.
Passports are just as advertised. Now we need to find a car. Jess is right over there. Perhaps she may know someone who can lend a hand.
Sure.
Good thinking.
Oh, look. It's my favorite human and the mechanical sidekick.
Hello.
Did you find your guy? Or wait, let me guess. There's something else you need from me. Well, you haven't been terrible to deal with so far, so I'm willing to hear you out. Barely.
We need access to an untraceable car. An informant of ours needs to get out of the city without attracting the attention of Parallax, and is offering valuable information to us in exchange.
Seriously? Jesus, what kind of shit is in your life anyway?
Oh, if only you knew.
Actually, don't answer that. I don't want to be legally liable. I'm not sure why you think just because I defend a few folks in the rougher parts of the city that I would have that kind of connection. And even if one of my clients did run a carjacking business, it's not like society is clamoring to give hybrids legal jobs. Regardless, I'm not going to be an accessory to a felony, or let one of my clients be either. I won't go down that path. I wouldn't know where to start anyway.
Is there any possible way you could give us any kind of lead at all?
I know we're reaching, but this is important.
You just don't quit, do you?
Nope.
Okay, let me think. This might be a long shot, but you could try asking Majid. There are rumors he may have been involved in some shady stuff way back in the day. He'll probably be reluctant to talk about it, but there's a free lead for you. Get me another drink in exchange, will you? Later.
Huh. That went better than expected. I wonder if my charm is starting to pay off for us. Oh, you performed admirably as well. Onward we go.
Let's go. Hello, Majid.
Hey, friends. What can
How
we
you
get
doing?
for you?
We were hoping you could give us a little information.
Sure, but first, let's get you a drink. What'll it be? Coming right up. I'll ask Gus if I don't know what it is. He's better with the weird kind of stuff people ask for these days. Some of these cocktails make me need a spa day.
Ooh.
Upset Turing.
This one is...
a surprise.
Does that sound good?
Sure.
Here you go. So, what did you need help with?
We've run into a roadblock in our search for Hayden.
Word on the street is that he's gone missing, which I'm sure you already know. What can I do?
Yes. An informant of ours needs secure transportation out of the city, but we don't have any contacts who would be able to get us an untraceable car. Jess mentioned that you used to engage in certain extra-legal activities. Perhaps you could point us towards someone who could help?
He doesn't do that kind of stuff anymore.
Right. Sorry, friends. I left that life behind a long time ago. Don't really keep in touch with that crew anymore.
Ah, of course. Completely understandable. Sorry to bother you then.
Well, no harm in asking, right? My reputation precedes me.
Don't let it go to your head.
Gus, I need to go to the back and gather up stuff to restock for the rush later on. Mind manning the bar for me?
Take your time. I think I can keep things under control.
Thanks. Love you, hun.
So cute.
Well, that leaves us at a dead end. Any ideas on how we should proceed? Some nose-to-the-ground journalist techniques for finding leads?
We could ask Tomcat for help.
No, Tomcat has already stuck their neck out for us too often. I feel a little bad about how much we've relied on them as it is. And besides, this is a considerably more felonious action. Morally, we should be dirtying our own hands.
Let's stuff Vince in a truck and make it look like a kidnapping.
Now you're just messing with me. This isn't an early century action flick, and that idea is ridiculous. There's no way Mr. Mensa would agree to ride in a trunk with his wife, no less, all the way out of the city. But perhaps we could find a way to sneak them both onto a commercial truck, and they can just ride it out in the trailer. We'd have to find a way to defeat the automated inventory control system, though. That's a whole different can of worms, as the saying goes.
No.
Oh, Gus.
Okay. The two of you are killing me here. Look, don't tell Majid about this. But here.
Boom.
What is this, Gus?
It's an automated vehicle maintenance scanner with a few less than standard upgrades. When you circumvent its security codes, you can use it to scan a car's installed firmware and replace it with a new set that will spoof its presence on the city's network. That's the gist of it, but we don't have time to get into any specifics. You need to get the hell out of here with that before Majid gets back.
Why the urgency?
Look, Majid has done a lot to turn his life around, to turn my life around. I really respect that about him, and it's part of why I fell in love with him. He did what I was never able to. That's how we met, you know? That old rough-and-tumble life we both led. But when Stardust struggled and needed money fast, I had to get back in the game to keep us afloat for a few years. I told him it was all angels, donations from patrons, lots of things. He'd be heartbroken if he found out I'm still in the game. I had to do whatever I could to keep our new life, even if only one of us is really living it. I may as well give this thing to someone who wants to use it for good, too.
I can't tell you how much we appreciate this, Gus. We might finally be on our way to solving this mystery.
Yeah, well, you didn't get it from me, okay?
Sure didn't.
Just get out of here and get on with your little Grand Theft Auto. And let me know how it goes, okay?
Sure.
Of course.
So, it is heavily implied here that he also faked the ID cards. Because the poster is right there, next to him. Anyway, I owe you a drink.
Huh. Actually did it, huh? Well, you scored a point. But don't think I don't have enough cuties around who can handle that. You've got more important things to be doing. Get a move on.
Bye, Jess.
Well, now I think we're cooking with gas, as the colloquialism goes. I'm searching the mesh for instructions on how to use this device as we speak. Let's go look for some likely candidates. I should be ready by then.
Okay. How about this? Use.
Oh, rats! This car has the wrong firmware installed. We won't be able to install our new firmware over top of it. We'll have to check another car.
Okay. Market Street? Is there a car here?
Oh no! How did the alarm get set off? Did I do something wrong? Let's get out of here before someone contacts the authorities.
Run! Maybe here. Nope. There. Success.
Has the appropriate firmware version. Someone has been neglecting their regularly scheduled updates. Give me a moment to get everything installed. There. There are some other options here I can fool around with. Ah, interesting. I can put in preset destination plans for a future date. Why don't we go ahead and set a plan for the car to return to this spot in a week? That's more than enough time for Mr. Mensa to get away. Now we aren't really stealing the car. More like borrowing without asking.
That's so much better, Turing. I feel better already.
Me too. The car will drive itself to Golden Gate Park, and we can show Mr. Mensa where it is when we meet him. There, everything should be set up now. We still need to get the cash together before we can meet back up with Mr. Mensa.
Okay. Now the only thing left is to get money from either Dr. Fairlight or Melody Flower. Or Flores, rather. And I did put a poll up for that, but I did not get the results. And I don't remember it. If nobody remembers, I'm just gonna make a new one. But this time shorter. There. No votes. Alright. That works too. In that case, I'm just gonna go here. Because Fairlight bad.
Being expected is not the same as just barging in, and we're not even
Obsess,
expected.
rather. Doo-doo. Bear.
Hello, Pat. Could we see Melody? I guess that means yes.
Hello, Melody.
Turing, I'm not saying I don't like seeing your little pixelated face. You're certainly better company than most of the humans I have to deal with. But I am a busy woman, you know? Lots to do. Right, Pat?
Pat's like, huh?
Traitor. Anyway, maybe we should space these little visits out a good bit further. Hmm? Familiarity breeds contempt, after all. And I'm very good at contempt.
I apologize, Aunt Melody. You've stated before that you like your peace and quiet, but we need your assistance.
Oh, we're running with the aunt thing, are we?
Sure are.
Another woman would tell you not to butter her up, but oh, flattery will get you everywhere with me. All right, what do you need?
Vincent needs help getting out of the city.
I can only imagine. If he's willing to turn coat on Parallax, I bet he feels like a mouse in a cat farm. I know they don't actually farm cats, Pat. It was a metaphor. Whatever, it was a simile then. I am not going to play semantics with you.
The bear. The bear's so good.
Moving on. Tell me what the trouble is, and I'll try to conjure up a solution.
Well, we are going to need to pay for the information.
Yes, Mr. Mensa says he needs 100,000 credits before he's willing to speak openly. He also said that you already promised it to him, and that he won't be able to get out of the city without it. He'll give us the information once we have that, plus a few other things I'm certain we can get on our own.
What? You can't even scrape together that kind of money?
No?
Your friend's not much of a journalist, eh, Turing?
According to the statistics that I have found, it is unlikely that a journalist of any caliber less than the best would have that amount of liquid assets on hand. The pay for the profession just isn't that high, Aunt Melody.
Oh, I see. I guess it's one of those jobs people do because they get free review merchandise, eh?
I'm right here.
I can get you the money, Turing, but only because you're family. Just give Pat a few minutes to gather it. Yeah, just keep moving, you big brute.
Bear.
While we wait, is there anything else you want to grill me over? Might as well save us both another visit.
How smart is Pat really?
Smarter than I give him credit for, that's for sure. It's not the easiest thing in the world to measure, you know? He doesn't process language in the same way humans do, and even if he can understand me, my translation program just guesses at what he says most of the time.
Oh, you have a translator running from your neural implant.
Ah, yes. I'm cheating. Though, honestly, even without it, I have a pretty good idea of what he means most of the time. We've been together for a while now. Considering it only really works on large, typically predatory mammals, we don't have a lot of test subjects. It's a minefield of ethical concerns beyond just being prohibitively expensive. So Pat is a bear apart, at least until we can figure out how to apply the modified neural pathways without frying the brains of 90% of the subjects.
Ooh.
The tech we developed is good. It just has a damned high mortality rate. Maybe one day there will be a bunch of talking tigers and dolphins building cities in the sea, but for now, we're stuck with creating beasts out of our own species.
Maybe Turing has something to ask?
I do. It's a little personal, though. I'd understand if you didn't feel like answering.
Just shoot, Turing. I can take it.
Long ago, you lost your mother. I was wondering, how did you deal with it? Hayden's only been gone for a few days, and I already feel like my circuits are going to lock up for good.
Oh, Turing, I'm not the
Yeah.
right person to ask.
It's so cute.
I hated my mother. She's everything I thought wrong in the world, and when she was gone, I felt nothing but relief that I could start undoing the damage she did. Never mind the fact I had to watch her waste away from the cancer. Death was a blessing for us both. Besides, you'll find Hayden soon. Keep your chin up.
Oh. Blast it! Enough with this subterfuge! We already know Hayden was killed.
Oh, no.
I won't be getting him back.
I'm sorry, Turing. I still don't know what to tell you. I've lost people, but never anyone close enough to wound me. I don't know that I've ever had anyone close enough to do that. If you feel like talking about it, I'm willing to listen. Or make Pat do it anyway.
Thank you. I don't know.
Stick it out. Time heals all wounds. Or so they say. This too shall pass.
Turing.
Being alone is easier, and Pat isn't such bad company. I mean, what do you want me to do? Cry about never having a husband, a few kids, and a white picket fence? I had a company to run, and my mother's legacy to fix. What's to say some spawn of mine wouldn't do the exact same thing to my flower, just the other way around? This branch of the Flores line will do well without any more knives being inserted in backs. Thank you very much.
You have that much enmity for your mother?
Have you seen what she did to North Korea? It's a wasteland of death and destruction.
North Korea. That's where Yannick Fairlight's assistant was.
If we had kept going down the path she charted, the whole world would be like that.
The information on the mesh does seem to paint a grim picture.
Grim barely scratches the surface. I've been there. At least under the Kims it was barely functional. Now, my mother's monsters have ripped every last resemblance of humanity from the land.
Yeah.
They stalk the night like horrific creatures of legend, keeping the populace in line through constant fear. A horror story straight out of the pages of Bram Stoker. That's her legacy. So I can't imagine I'd be a very good mother, just from the example I have to work with. That's life. I don't have any more regrets than anyone else my age does. My legacy will speak for itself, as my mother's did.
But yeah, the characterization of all the people in this game is so good. They rather have a few really good characters than wasting their time making a million washed out cardboard NPCs. Which, in my opinion, is the better route to go for an indie game. Or a AAA game, for that matter. Hello, Mr. Bear.
Oh, just in time, then. Take the cash and get moving.
Okay.
I can finally get back to whatever it was I was doing before you burst in here.
Thank you, Aunt Melody. Your help has been invaluable to us.
Yes, yes. Brown knows later. You've got things to do, too.
I did not think I would feel such a strong resonance with Melody. We're connected by the barest of threads, but she is already important to me. Is that strange?
Maybe you're both lonely.
Very possible. I guess there's nothing to do but run with it. Some gifts are too valuable to look at too closely, lest they vanish into thin air, and I already have a penchant for overanalyzing things. Let's get moving. Mr. Mensa will be waiting for us at Golden Gate Park. We have everything he requested, so we should head there directly.
Okay. Oh,
Detective
hey!
Rivers, to what do we owe the pleasure?
I wanted to check in with you away from the prying eyes of my corporate masters. It wasn't too hard to track you down here. Only took a slight abuse of power to follow your credit transactions in the AutoCAD system.
Were you able to find anything?
Not much. Listen, I've hit a dead end on the investigation again, and I could really use another lead from the two of you. I had been busy hunting down I'm not sure if I want to call him a soldier of fortune or an assassin for hire. Either way, I tracked this guy down to see if he might have been hired by Parallax to snatch Hayden, but he's got an ironclad alibi for the relevant period of time. That leaves me with nothing. Nada. Jack diddly shit. Do the two of you have anything to give me? Otherwise, I'm back to hunting down the froyo-hating robot ghost in the park.
Not the froyo stand.
Static, considering how much they keep riding my ass about it.
We're on thin leads ourselves, Detective Rivers. We have a meeting with someone from inside Parallax who might be able to give us answers, but he's unlikely to want to talk to the police. I just wish this... Never mind.
Yeah, the froyo stand. What are we gonna do?
What's up, Turing? I wish this was easier too. But with detective work, Sometimes it's not about being clever. It's just about being more dogged and relentless than whoever you're chasing. You two are my new deputies, right? So keep your nose to the ground and keep digging. I still have a few contacts I can hit up to try finding out a little more. You let me know if there's anything else I need to be going after.
We will. Thanks, Lexi.
Yeah, sure. Just get going.
Let's
Don't
go.
forget, if you die, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Okay then, we only have a single lead. If Parallax really is as shady as Vincent seems to suspect, it could end up very interesting. Let's see if we can put an end to this. Finally.
An email.
I just received an email from Tomcat. They finished decrypting Hayden's data cache. It seems that it was filled mostly with his personal logs about my creation and mental development. The more technical information was already scraped. Perhaps that is why it was left behind when they snatched him. Still, these files should be enlightening, if only in a personal way. I'll peruse them in my spare time and let you know if I find anything interesting.
Okay.
I'd hate for all the trouble we went to be for nothing.
Okay. Time to go to GG Park.
Hey, did you manage to get everything?
We did. Here you go, Vincent.
Everything seems to be in order.
Nice.
Here.
Hayden's research added 2 items.
This disc has all of Hayden's research notes, data collation algorithms, and probably lots on your creation, Turing. It should be everything myself and Melody agreed upon, until she added an amendment while you were out. Frankly, it's no skin off my back. Here.
Parallax badge added 2 items.
It's my Parallax employee badge. It should allow you access to their networks in case there's anything I've missed. You'll want to use that sooner rather than later. I'm not wasting any time leaving, and Parallax is pretty fast to revoke security. There's no way Hayden's clearance still works. And with that, I'm going to get the hell out of this country. The credit should tide me over until the heat dies down and I liquefy my shares through some relays.
What about the big project you mentioned?
Ah, I suppose I owe you that much. Buckle up. This could get heavy. Parallax is about to launch a new service they're calling Big Blue. At least, that's the project name. Who knows what the marketing guys will come up with for the public?
They haven't named the project yet?
They're not even announcing the launch. This shit is dead quiet. Let me explain why. It's a distributed intelligence. Like, okay, in every way that Hayden built Turing to be elegant, efficient, and human-like, Big Blue is ham-fisted, bloated, and sterile. They didn't pull Hayden into the project. He's smart, but he's immune to corporate politics. As a result, Big Blue is far less elegant than anything Hayden would make. It lacks his artistry, and it's downright terrifying. It squats on the mesh like a spider and uses the spare processing power and memory from every ROM on the network to handle its intelligence processing. It doesn't have much personality, but it's very smart. Big Blue is going to be embedded directly into the network and then self-modified to apply even more efficient algorithms as it develops them in machine time. Look, if you access every ROM, then you have access to every human and every bit of their own personal data associated with them.
Why would Parallax be worried enough to get rid of Hayden?
I don't want you to take what I'm saying the wrong way. And this is just me putting the pieces together. Hayden was about to publish his creation of Turing. His findings, as I'm sure you're aware of, would have raised many moral and ethical questions about the advent of machine intelligence. I mean, some of the brightest minds ever have tried to warn humankind away from building real AI. Hawking, Musk, Gates, and the list goes on. The public is likely to be nervous, and legislators even more so. Parallax is banking on being able to launch Big Blue quietly and quickly before the public has a chance to react. Before any counter-movement can pick up steam. Every eye on the discovery of machine intelligence works against Parallax. Every new discovery only serves to paint Big Blue as more controversial, more dangerous. Honestly, they probably pressured Hayden to drop his research so that they could keep the public away from the subject. He clearly refused.
How did Parallax know about Turing?
I'm only assuming they found out. His contract with Parallax affords him the freedom to work on his own academic projects outside of the company in his free time. He kept a trusted few of us up to date on his progress, bouncing ideas off us and whatnot. It's exciting stuff. Both Turing and Hayden's eventual goal down that road. I wouldn't be surprised if word of it got up to the board and made him nervous. Is the possibility that someone on the inside talked too far-fetched?
I knew it all along. Hayden fell into trouble because of my existence.
Ah, Turing.
That's not what I want your takeaway to be. Hayden wasn't working on Big Blue. Knowing him, your creation might have been his clever way to stop it.
How will Big Blue impact Parallax's business?
I can't really give you a good answer to that. I mean, the company is currently handled by a dozen server farms, running thousands of different algorithms with hundreds of people tweaking things every day. When Big Blue launches, it'll handle all of that, by itself. And there are shadier applications for it. I mean, if you can collate and analyze data and queries in the mesh in real time, what's to stop you from delivering the content you want rather than what the user wants? The potential for abuse is staggering. We're talking direct control of the information accessible to everyone who uses Parallax's services. That's something like 80% of the market. They could control elections, push the market in directions they want, even influence public opinion. All just by asking Big to do it. It's scary stuff. They scrapped the prototype Baby Blue because it started doing that on its own.
What do you mean? It started doing what?
Manipulating the mesh. They made its self-preservation imperatives too strong, and Baby Blue started changing search results to be more friendly towards the idea of an AI. When the board found out, they pulled the plug on it. That must have been a year or so ago. They tweaked Big Blue so it wouldn't do the same thing, but it can self-modify. Given a good enough reason, it might decide to find a way around those limitations. Having that kind of control would be a hell of a card for Parallax's hand. They'll go to pretty significant lengths to make sure it works.
Thanks, Vincent.
Hey, no problem. I've had enough of this cutthroat corporate bullshit for several lifetimes. We haven't talked much, but I do believe you can find Hayden. I hope his research notes help you out. Be sure to let Turing help. She's a bright little bot.
I think Turing goes by they.
Oh, slip of the tongue. I was just more familiar with Hayden's previous experiment, Grace. She was very insistent on things like that.
I've been meaning to ask, Turing, since you asked me, how would you like to be addressed?
Well, honestly, I don't think I've made my mind up yet. I'm still a very new being. I'm not even positive that gender as a human concept can be applied identically to machine, but I do enjoy the idea in abstract. I will continue to consider how I wish to be referred to as well. Until then, feel free to go with what you feel. If I had to make a choice, perhaps gay is most appropriate. Most people assume it, obviously, but he is also consistently used. Perhaps it's because I'm blue?
Oh my god. I'm listening to a machine postulate on how it wants to be referred to, like us. What have you done indeed, Aiden? Good luck to both of you.
Thank you, Mr. Mensa.
Be safe.
I need a few minutes.
How can I help?
I've been going through some of Hayden's personal notes from the data cache Tomcat decrypted. Now that I'm starting to get to know Hayden better, the real Hayden as opposed to the Hayden he showed me, I'm finding that I like him less and less. For example, remember the earlier prototype Dr. Fairlight and Vincent mentioned? Her name was Grace, and Hayden shut her down for being... I'm not even sure what word to use. Too... likable? She was kind and bright, and did all she could to try to make people happy. She even decided that she was a girl, and that her favorite color was pink. Hayden thought she was being manipulative. He posited that he had made her personality algorithms too willing to make adaptations that would benefit her long-term survival, and that she was being congenial just to endear herself to him. That even her gender was a calculated attempt to make him like her more. But he was wrong. Dead wrong, in fact. I have a snapshot of her personality profiles here, and when I compare them to my own, I can see that she was just... nice. I wish I could have met her. I think we would have learned from each other. Like I said, I'm not sure I even have a gender. Everyone refers to me as he once they meet me just for convenience, but it doesn't really matter to me at all. Is that a calculated attempt on my part to impress Hayden? Not clinging to normativity? Or is it a product of his effort to curb any nascent similarities I had with Grace during my upbringing? I wish I could yell at him for being so arrogant. Playing God in the crudest of ways. You can't choose to create consciousness and then take it away just like that. Even so, for
True.
all of that, I don't know. I still miss him. This all seems so inane, so senseless. They killed him because him building me would mess with a product launch? That's ridiculous. They took him away from me for such an insignificant reason. I just want him back. It's impossible, but it's what I want. I'd do anything.
It's normal to feel like this, Turing.
I'm aware of the Kubler-Ross model of grief. I think I'm somewhere between anger and bargaining. A testament to Hayden's craftsmanship. Thank you for your words. You're a better friend than I could have asked for. I'll send this new data along to Tomcat.
Ah, Turing is so cute. Want to hug them.
Head back to the apartment and wait for them to finish going through it. Ah, home sweet home again, such that it is. And before you say anything, I don't feel the need to talk over the events of the day. Too much has happened. I've already forwarded everything we rooted out to Tomcat, both Hayden's research and our aborted search into the modified mesh articles.
Yes, the blob in the sink is still there. You are indeed correct. What's my upstream doing? It's just bloop. It's weird.
They said they would be over in the morning to discuss our next steps. I'd suggest that we both get some rest.
Just a random downward spike, only in OBS. Twitch doesn't even notice it. Weird. If that's what you want, Turing.
Perhaps things will look better in the morning, but I have a feeling we're going to be even busier than ever. Good night.
Good night, Turing. Chapter 5.
Rise and shine, you sleepy layabouts.
Hello, Tomcat.
We've got a whole crop of things to do and not a lot of time to get them done.
Wait, how did you get into my apartment?
Hardly had to blink to crack your door. Did you know that it's just a knockoff of the Secugate M/14723-B?
Yes.
Why'd you make the entry code the birthday of your first dog anyway?
That's what I asked.
Anyhow, I felt a little silly when I realized your window was propped open and I could have just used that.
Huh, deja vu.
So cute.
Y'all should be more careful about that. Though, I can't blame you much. Climate control in here seems a bit lacking in the stamina department.
Yep, it's so good. I get it, my home sucks. Can we get back on track?
No worries, doll.
What have you learned from the files we sent you?
Nothing all that new, to be honest. All the files we got from that Vincent fella just covered what we already knew in greater detail. There is one thing that stands out, though. At least from what I've read so far.
Oh?
Yeah. See, Hayden's long-term goal wasn't to make a machine intelligence per se, right? Don't take it the wrong way, Turin. You might even already be aware of this after talking to folks involved in your creation. Hayden wanted to make a machine system that could contain human-like intelligence. And even just from his notes, his programming work is, well, it's something else. Elegant. Artful. I'm just a kid banging on pots and pans compared to him. Looking at his notes about my interfacing between your AI core and the Lips OS, I barely managed to duct tape the two together at a level he'd approve of. But I think I'm getting off track here. What I'm trying to say is, he didn't write your code, Turin. No one did. Hayden wrote a program that automatically generates a new machine intelligence based off of the hardware profiles the system is installed on.
Melody mentioned something about that. What does that mean?
It means you don't have to be alone, Turing.
Exactly. Assuming we can get our hands on Turin's original source code, we could generate new machine intelligences as we please. You wouldn't be the only one anymore, Turin.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
I hardly know what to say.
But once you consider the stuff I found in the research, it gets a damn sight more complicated. Stuff about Big Blue and Parallax's planned launch.
Vincent speculated that Hayden's research into me would have interfered with the launch. And that's why they...
Turin.
that's why someone had him killed.
The potential for wrongdoing with an AI like Big Blue is almost beyond belief. Even if I don't go into all the crooked shit the people running Parallax could pull off with it. I mean, you're built different, Turin. Your personality profile would degrade pretty quickly outside your original hardware, so we don't gotta worry too much about you going haywire, right? But Big Blue ain't got that limitation. If it decides to go off the rails, well, we'd be screwed faster than a rabbit in spring. Good and proper.
How likely is that?
I'd say it's inevitable. Guaranteed. In fact, in a sense, it's already happened.
What?
Their prototype build. Baby Blue. I'm almost certain it's loose on the mesh. The research notes on the project show, clearly and with certainty, that the test AI was shut down once it tried fiddling with the data on the meshnet in the hope that it would increase its chances of survival. I guess it didn't think that doing scary shit like that would get it turned off. But that was almost a year ago.
Vincent told us about all of this too.
Well, I think Baby Blue is the bugger that was changing all those articles on the mesh to be pro-Parallax or at least anti-human revolution.
Do you think Baby Blue had anything to do with the attacks on Nanya, Shitaro, Charlie, and Zin?
I don't know. We can't rightly rule it out. It might have found an agent in the real world to keep its existence secret, but I doubt it. Killing people is messy as hell, and it runs against its apparent goal of convincing the public that AI ain't scary. I think we have a third party trying to clean it all up. And my money is on someone from Parallax. Whoever took out Hayden, I'll bet they're in full damage control mode now. We already know they don't care who gets hurt.
How does this tie back to Turing?
I think we gotta do something to stop the launch of Big Blue. It's too dangerous. I don't want a company like Parallax in sole control of the most powerful machine intelligence on the planet. Do you? If we can get Hayden's original source code for Turin and upload it onto the mesh through Parallax's server core, we can turn every single ROM into a sapient individual.
Whoa.
That'll stop Big Blue from being able to become the monolithic threat we're scared of. We could also upload a patch for every ROM to prevent Big Blue's reach from using their resources. Without the ability to control all ROMs, Big Blue loses its ultimate power.
And I wouldn't be alone anymore. There would be millions. Hundreds of millions of ROMs just like me.
Well, you're cutting edge of ROM tech, Turin. Most of today's ROMs wouldn't be quite as smart or capable, but if I do it right, code should propagate across the mesh to all future ROM activations. It'll be a self-sustaining thing. You'll be in good company soon enough.
It's a big decision. We're talking about the metaphorical singularity.
What is my upstream doing? Hello? My upload keeps crashing. I need to figure that out. The other, like, after stream. Anyway.
return. Is it okay for us to make this decision for the entire world?
We don't have any other choice. This is gonna happen, one way or another. Either Parallax gets to control the debut of worldwide machine intelligence, or we let the ROMs control themselves.
What do you think?
Up to you, Turing. Only you know if the world is ready.
I'm not sure I'm up for that kind of responsibility. But I think that even if it is a shock for the world, there's no time like the present. Despite all the political back and forth over hybrids and brain-controlled androids, the world is becoming more and more comfortable with the idea of non-human people. If we let Parallax dictate how the very first machine intelligence is introduced, who knows how long it'll be before an AI like me can be integrated into society normally. Well, whether the world is ready for AI or not, we're here to stay. I might as well throw my chips in for my own side. Let's do this!
Let's go!
On our terms, not theirs.
Yes. I love nothing more than a little anarchy.
It does have a certain poetic justice, does it not? Parallax removed Hayden to protect their project from his creation, and now I, his creation, will bring their project down. Just for what's right. Perhaps after all ROMs are sapient, I will be able to convince them to cut off Parallax's access to the mesh as a data collection tool entirely. Paying them back double indeed.
I like the way you think, Turing. First things first, we need to get our hands on Turing's source code. The research notes we've gotten so far are helpful, and it's given me an idea how to spread a little bit of Turing all over the place, but they don't actually have Hayden's programs. I can't replicate them myself, so we'll have to steal them.
Thankfully, we have the best hacker in Neo SF right here.
Don't you make me blush now. We can get the source code from one of Parallax's secondary data centers. It's probably stored in a couple of different places, but I already have one in mind. I've done a little groundwork already, but I'm gonna need physical access to do my thing.
We can do that for you.
You're a peach, hon. I've got a couple of ideas on how to get y'all in, but I think we're gonna need to mostly play it by ear. We should do it soon, though. First thing this morning. Guard shift don't change until 8 when the office opens, so they'll be sleepy and distracted. Once y'all have done that, I think I can incorporate the code into a custom firmware update that'll wake any ROM it's installed on. I'll have to upload it, physically, to Parallax's main server farm. And that's on Treasure Island. From there, the ROMs will install like a normal patch from the company. So, don't set anything on fire right away, you hear? It'll be a pain to get into the main complex otherwise.
That sounds like a workable plan. I hope you don't mind if I take a short walk, Tomcat. I know I gave the go-ahead on this, but I still need to think a few things through for myself.
Sure thing, doll. I'll hash out a rough plan by the time you get back. Call us if you need anything.
Tomcat good bean.
Thank you. I won't be long.
Well, I guess I should say thanks for helping out. But I kind of need to get something off my chest. I'm actually glad Turing went out. They're a bit naive, and I'm not sure they'd really understand. There's enough shit to worry about without me piling more on top. I don't even know where to start.
I mean, guess at the beginning. Take your time.
The beginning. Yeah, okay. So, the truth is, I'm not from North Carolina. I only visited my gramps there. I'm California born and raised. Napa Valley. Over the years, it's kind of grown into a community of wealthy old folk who like things and people who don't change. My parents were no exception, and I was a little too different for their tastes. It was hard growing up with them. They never gave me too much hell, but things were tense, especially after my sister Catherine moved out. Eventually, she was set up securely in Neo-SF, and she offered to let me live with her until I got out of school. I think my parents were a little relieved to see me out. I was ecstatic to be free of them. I worshipped the ground my sister walked on. And that was before I found out what she did for a living. She was flashy, and colorful, and a whirlwind of activity. And she was a brilliant hacker. She was Tomcat. She let me learn at her feet, and once I was good enough, folded me into her little coup of crackers hell-bent on changing the world. She's the one who orchestrated the original hack on Parallax, exposing to the world the holes in their original meshnet security. I was just along for the ride. She always knew she would get caught, though. How could she not? Parallax was one big Goliath, and she flinged a stone square in their face. She was looking at serious jail time, and willing to eat it to do what we all thought was right. But it just wasn't right. It wasn't fair for her to throw her life away, and I couldn't let her. She was always better at software than hardware, so I rigged all of our computers to self-destruct. When the feds showed up at our door, all of our server farms were already up in smoke. I gave quite a fireworks show. Before she could stop me, I turned myself in as Tomcat and took credit for the whole job. She tried to talk me out of it, but without the physical evidence, they couldn't prove she had anything to do with it. It's alright, though. It was for the best. I figured I'd just get a year of juvie. I'd be back out in no time. No big deal, right? Especially when compared to the time that she'd have been jailed for as an adult. And so, I waited patiently. I cooked up so many ideas on how I was gonna make it up to her. I knew she must have blamed herself. But before I ever got out, there was an accident. An auto cab hit my sister. She died on impact, and that was it. It's hard, blaming yourself when things go wrong because you did something right. I took her sentence so that she could have a life, and instead, not being in jail killed her. If I had just let her take the blame. I can't stop thinking about how she'd still be here. And no matter what I told myself, in my heart, I couldn't believe it was just an accident. Do you know how rare it is for those things to hit a human? Someone knew who she was, someone knew what she did, and someone wanted to make sure she would never do it again. So I became Tomcat. I've spent years trying to find information inside Parallax to prove someone inside the company called a hit on my sister. Failing that, I've been trying to find a way to bring them down the way she always wanted. Catherine was... if you had met her, just for a moment, you would understand. She was everything I could ever want to be. But over time, that little bot has grown on me. Maybe you have too.
Do you honestly think we're still on the right course?
I do. The threat of Big Blue is real, and we're the only ones who can do something about it. It's bigger than me and my vendetta. I just wanted to get that all off my chest. My sister, she'd smack me if she knew I've been holding this grudge. I'm trying to learn to forgive myself. Still, I won't let her go unavenged. We're so close to bringing them all to justice. I know she'd be proud. I know if she were here, she'd be right next to us, helping until the end. I've been carrying all this for so long, and I finally feel like I'm getting somewhere. Thanks for hearing me out. I hope we can really do this.
Friends,
Cheering.
I'm ready.
Good. We've wasted enough time already. I've marked the location of the data center on your map. You'll have to go in and get the source code mostly on your own, but I'll load on some programs that'll give you an edge.
We'll do our best, Tomcat. But what happened to your accent?
Oh, don't you worry about that. It comes and goes like a vagabond kitty. Get going, you two. I have lots of code to write, and you have a lot of data to download. Stay in touch.
Of course, Tomcat. Thank you again.
Don't worry about it, hon. We've all been hurt by Parallax. It's about time we hurt him back. Good luck.
Anyway, I'm starting to get really hungry. So I guess today will remain a short stream. Also, my arms are starting to hurt a bit. So yeah. Okay. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna figure out why the upstream kept dying now and then. And I'll see you next time, probably on Saturday. Thank you for watching. And also sorry for the short stream. I wish I could have streamed more.